Hey, how's it going, Lucas? Okay. Oh, can you help me out with something here? I'm looking at my screen and I'm just seeing this trophy. Did you win a trophy by chance? That you maybe want to mention? Oh, wow. A one of a kind. Wow, wow. Oh no, that well, you know what? It wasn't lost on me.
Damn it.
Wow, it's so good too.
Okay. All right. There we go. Yeah, my bad. I totally butchered that. All right. Well, unfortunately, Jeff, the joke that I made was only for you. But
That
anyway,
just makes it more special.
yeah. There we go. There we go. Thank you, Chad, for pointing out. Yes. So I didn't. I guess you missed my intro. Let's let him. Let's go. Let's go. All right. But I didn't do my. I did my intro and I totally muted the whole time. So oops, that's what happens when you don't stream as often as I used to. But basically, we've got Schmid on the red side versus Mark on the blue side. Schmid's playing Convocation, bringing Space Maw as a nice, cool pick. And Mark is also bringing Space Maw in his roster. So it's really interesting to see if they bring them, if they don't. A little bit of game of chicken going on. Uh, Jeff, you've played Convocation a bunch, and I think you've played Maw as well too. So what are your thoughts on Maw in both lists and the matchup here?
Yeah, I'm actually huge on Space Maw in Convocation. I was huge on them before, and I sort of kind of brought that back up to the Convocation Discord when Asgard started coming out. That like Space Maw Ancient One Strange was decent enough into the Asgard 15, the Boogeymen, and I think some other players started exploring with them, or at least going back to him if they've already explored him. And I love it. I took it to WTC, helped me out greatly there. I don't. I think I would expect Schmid to play Space Maw over. Um, sorry, what's his name? Mark.
Mark, yeah, Mark.
Yeah, Mark. I think Mark is bringing it more for Asgard. I don't know if he has a plan of Space Maw into Convocation. I probably wouldn't bring Space Maw into Convocation, to be honest with you.
Okay, so Mark is actually. I think everyone knows who Schmidt is at this point. He's had tons of games streamed. He has his own YouTube channel that you can find that he talks about his lists a lot, or he has in the past. So he's provided a ton of insight as to how he plays Convocation and the list he builds. So definitely check out that channel. But um, Mark is a player that's in the Ontario meta. He's a local player of mine. Actually, we're teaming up for a team event that
Ooh,
we're doing actually this Saturday. We're playing at the Game Chamber in London, Ontario. A fun fact about that event is Mark and I, as well as our teammate Greg, are the defending champions. Last year when they did this event, we each of us were on the same team, of course, and we didn't drop a single game the whole event. So that was pretty crazy stuff.
another trophy we can talk about.
Yeah, it's actually right
We'll just
beside the
turn this into
it's right beside the
the Lucas
Adepticon
trophy
trophy.
case.
So
Perfect.
yeah, exactly. And the squad goals one too. It's like they're all right, just
Oh
like right there.
my God, you're gonna need another shelf for your trophy case soon.
I know. I'm gonna need a bigger case, I guess. I'll upgrade. Anyway, all right.
So
Yeah, I
walk me
win.
through.
Go ahead.
Is this his team's list, or is he running this separately from that?
So basically, our teams going into the event are gonna be Asgard by me, Apocalypse by Greg, and Hellfire for Mark. So Greg's gonna get Toad, but other than that, Mark's just gonna swap Lizard for Toad. Other than that, it's pretty similar. He's been playing
Nice.
Hellfire and like obviously kicking ass with them. Mark has actually been the crime lord, the which is the criminal syndicate top Longshanks player badge, and Hellfire is basically just can do Criminal Syndicate but better, and so he's decided to go with a little more of a meta pick lately. So yeah, I'm really and of course Schmid's been Convocation player for a long time, and and he's also won the top Convocation player badge. So both of these players have proven themselves. Mark has won a lunch meet. Schmid's won a couple lunch meets. Like these players are both insanely good. So I'm really excited to see who comes out on top here. And I think Nobility is just about to join us here as the third commentary. So hopefully he jumps
Yeah,
in any second.
Hi,
Oh,
I'm here.
perfect. All right, how's it going, dude?
Good. Sorry for being a little late there.
that's
Yeah,
all
no
good.
worries,
If
no worries.
anyone's familiar with Schmid, it's you. I think you had a double header with him last week, right?
I don't remember. I
Oh, okay.
have blocked it out of my mind.
I was hoping to hear that you split it 1-1. I only got to see the streamed one.
The second game was closer, but same
Okay.
result.
Uh, so back to this. I know the players are picking their squads, but it looks like we have riots from the Hellfire player, so I'm sure he's happy about that.
Ooh, yeah. Who won Prio?
Looks
I was
like Mark
looking.
did. Looks like Mark did.
Yeah, Mark and
Yeah, Hellfire is probably going to be pretty comfortable with Prio,
it,
though. I mean, it's an
and
even extract, so
yeah,
that's
infinitely
good.
enough, this is actually Schmid's riot
Oh, he
because
picked. He picked. All right, so let's see. I'll just run through the rosters real quick here. Schmid is playing five wide: Strange, Voodoo, Shang-Chi, Zemo, Ancient One, and we've got Ironbound Books. I'm a Baron Sacrifice, Brace for Impact, Plane of Poldock, and Mark is playing six wide here. And he's playing Emma, Zemo, Shang-Chi, Black Cat, Rhino, Okoye. There's so many meta picks in these squads here. Remember when it was Dynamo and Bill everywhere, and now it's Shang-Chi and Zemo and Rhino and all that. Shang-Chi and Rhino, or sorry, Shang-Chi and Zemo are both being mirrored in these lists here. So very interesting to see.
yeah, and notably, Rhino under Hellfire Club did not see as much of a nerf as he did everywhere else. He can get
That's
the
right.
power for robbery quite quickly.
That's right. Mark's playing Recal, Hellfire, Chi Mastery, Robbery, Praise for Impact. Yeah, only having one affiliated card, being the leadership card, means that he can fit in Chi Mastery, whereas Schmid's tactic cards are tighter, and you have to. It's just tighter when you have to play when you want to play Ironbound Books and Plane of Poldock. Plane of Poldock's very strong, especially with Shang-Chi. I'm seeing it everywhere. Getting a six
Yeah,
dice reroll attack or a game ender with that spender on the backside with full rerolls is obviously very strong.
yeah. Plain
Yeah,
working with any Mystic attack instead of Dark Reign's version of any Cabal character just feels so great when you're playing them, and it lets the splashes do work as well.
yeah. I think the plane working for Shang makes it pretty okay to not have to bring Key Mastery. Like you're still gonna get that one turn of uber consistency that you need out of him just by
Yeah.
popping plane.
And interestingly enough, it lets Schmidt bring I'm a Baron after all, so that's going to be a Zemo difference there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'll make a big difference for him. Having the Baron card rather than Key Mastery there just because of Poldock is actually pretty good for Convo.
Having to play Ancient One here to be affiliated rather than what else? What other four threats? Like there aren't very many other four threats to play in Convocation, right? That I can think of. He's
Um,
No,
is it just the two
ancient. I believe it's just ancient one
on Voodoo?
and voodoo. Yeah,
yeah,
but they're both in the squad. He would have had to have used.
Maybe swap like play Magic and then
Z-
play Rhino or something like
yeah,
that.
Zemo would have to be magic. Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, ultimately went we wanted to bring Shang-Chi and Zemo, so that's why he's forced an Ancient One, which isn't terrible, but she's just not she doesn't see the board very often. Um, she doesn't have a displacement on a stick where she only has reactionary displacement, and it's not like the best form of it. Her weakness to physical attacks is sometimes detrimental. Red Fury joins
yeah,
us in the chat for the first time. Thanks for joining my stream.
I think Ancient One is a better model than a lot of people give her credit for. She's definitely
100.
underplayed,
percent
and I
Yeah,
think she's pretty good on riots here too because she has the flexibility round one of being able to be aggressive if you want with her place, and she starts with the 2 power. You can basically guarantee one attack onto the opposing team if they have someone on the middle secure. And even with this size 4, like if it happens to be Rhino over there, like that's not going to help him for LOS purposes. So I don't mind Ancient One here at all.
Yeah, I like Ancient One a lot. She's a big part of my squads when I play Convocation. Went into it a little bit when I was on the Strike Better podcast. I did like an unsung hero thing, and I think I'm right with you. Ancient One is not as bad as people give her credit for. The 2 defense for physical with reroll 2, even on dodges, is oftentimes better than 3 physical defense, especially when you're counting blanks. So I like the matchup into Zemo and Rhino right there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a brace if he throws that bulldozer. Oh, that's a size 3 bulldozer. I was thinking that was size 4. But yeah, I think she'll do just fine over there.
Yeah, and it'll be good enough to give her LOS from Rhino if he wants to like walk forward and try and hit her, so she can safely sit on that midline.
The Shang Zemo matchup is always interesting to me because, like, whenever Shang's attacking Zemo, like, you have to decide whether you want to go into his physical, which is 1 less defense, and give him Master Swordsman, or give him the extra die but not give him the full rerolls. And I think the right option is usually just giving him the extra die.
That's interesting. Wow, I have not thought about that before, but I personally would have chosen the physical, not having done the math. Have you done the math on it?
I haven't.
Okay, it's just like
If
it's
he
just a
if
vibe.
he's got
It's a vibe.
if he's got power for Master Swordsman, I'm pretty sure Master Swordsman is the better option for Zemo. So I agree with Nobility. You want to go for Mystic.
Looks like we're opening with Mark. Mark had priority, so he is taking a double move, putting Shang-Chi base to base with this terrain piece and grabbing the scroll. Doing this, of course, because if he doesn't roll a crit or a wild on the scroll, he will get pushed short, and he wants to avoid being pushed directly into Voodoo. And allowing Voodoo to like maybe attack him twice, or give him the flexibility to maybe do that. So wants to avoid that. He is getting pushed. So let's see where he goes. Is he going to go? Looks like he's getting pushed away from the scenario.
Yeah, I think that's smart. And I'm expecting Schmid to mirror with Ancient One here. You want this extract on Ancient One, I think. Oh, no, he's going with Shang-Chi. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I think Ancient One can be a little bit tankier to hold on to the scroll. And I would want Shang-Chi to have 2 power at the top of round 2. So I probably would have put this on Ancient One, but Schmidt's the one playing, not me, so maybe I'm wrong.
He is staying there.
He might feel like Hellfire doesn't have anything that super threatens Shang-Chi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, sure, Emma's attacking from 4, but none of the other models really threaten to be able to kill him very easily. So it's gonna, like, if he wants to get that scroll off of him, realistically, he's probably gonna end up having to use robbery on that.
Yeah, that's fair. And he is protected with the size 3, so there's no LOS. I just prefer to have Shang-Chi be able to charge.
Yeah, one thing here, I don't know if I actually liked Mark grabbing with Shang-Chi initially. Now that I think about it, like he would have been able to do what Shang-Chi did on like what Schmid's Shang-Chi did on the bulldozer, but Schmid wouldn't have been able to do the same thing on the top there. Like it's much more dangerous, and then your only one you have there is Voodoo to maybe grab it. I guess Zemo could go too, but like Voodoo's almost certainly getting pushed off the point. I would have maybe grabbed with Zemo. Is that?
Yeah, that's a super fair point. Maybe
Yeah.
Mark just didn't think about the fact that it wasn't as safe for Schmid over there.
Okay, but anyway, one thing that did happen that is usually like seems like a by the book situation is that if your opponent, like Mark being the opponent here of Schmid's, grabs a flank scroll immediately, you're almost forced to grab the other flank scroll, or like to if you want to maintain parity safe or as safely as possible, you're almost have to grab the other flank scroll, because if you don't, all of a sudden Mark has both flank scrolls, and the only way for you to maintain parity is you grabbing both the middles, and of course one of the middle scrolls is much closer to your opponent's board side, and can lead to attacks being dealt to that character on round one, so you're not pretty safe. So that's basically what I'm saying is like once Mark initiated the flank grab the initial grab, it kind of set in motion a pretty specific chain of events here.
Yep.
Yeah, I agreed. I also am a big fan of putting an extract early on Rhino. I think maybe Hellfire doesn't matter as much since you can generate more power, but since the nerf, putting an extract on Rhino typically means you just rob after you get dazed. So it guarantees that the other opponent is going to have to go into him. So I think you're correct. I would have liked to see Mark maybe pick up that side scroll with Rhino and force Voodoo to come get the other one.
Doctor Strange here has picked up the piece. It looks like he's rolled a wild, so he's not going anywhere. Having Doctor Strange pay 1 power to interact on round 1 is very reasonable, considering he's going to gain enough power to be able to do his range 3 scalpel, which means that he's going to be in the spot he wants to be at on round 2, probably getting an attack in, or just he's got, or he can maybe even just double move scalpel next round too if he wants to it for a key VP swing. So it allows him, it just gives him he still gets to do a lot of his kit on round 2 even if he spent a power this round. So it seems
Yeah,
very reasonable.
if it wasn't Black Cat sitting on that last point, I wouldn't have been opposed to him actually spending the one for daggers. For I think he might have had the range 4 from where he was, but obviously you need to be range 3 with Black Cat because of stealth. But I wouldn't have hated him staying where he was to pick up that one extract and just spending another power to hit Black Cat. And then as long as you leave one on Doctor Strange, you can scalpel next turn.
Oh yeah, that's a very good point. Actually, you're describing exactly what happened to me in the finals of the event that I just recently won. Where
Oh,
Kyle,
look
I
at
played
that.
against in the finals. I was against Kyle, who won season 13 of the TTS league, and he moved his strange up and hit daggers on my beast. I was playing in humans, and he hit him for 4. It was a very scary moment to begin the game, and that was entirely my fault because I grabbed the scroll with beast and I did not move back far enough. So
Yeah.
yes, players can be punished by range 5 attacks on round 1 if they're even on the back D there, if they're not careful enough.
I do like how Schmid deployed the middle though, because obviously he knows his distances and he knows what works and what doesn't. And I think the majority of players, when they see a long mover deployed in the middle on scrolls, they just expect that to be the default pickup for the middle. But Strange was able to do it in a single move too, so he gave himself the option, and now he's got the extract back home with Strange, and he can let Zemo go out and kill like he needs him to do. And it's also potentially going to let him win the secure that Shang-Chi got pushed off of, because Zemo can probably double move to get over on that and win it 2-1.
Yeah,
I
that's very
think
good. So I think we're seeing a parity, or maybe even a Schmid going up by a VP if Ancient One also sits on that point. But yeah, that's a good call. Is that I think Schmid. I think Schmid might get a VP edge here if things go his way, or like if Mark.
there might be a way for Mark to get three on that extremis console that Shang-Chi's sitting on. It looks like Schmidt has set up for Shang-Chi murder starting next round, since he will have priority. I believe Voodoo is within 3 of Shang-Chi, and Shang-Chi is not within 2 of Okoye. So we could be looking at a attack into Shang-Chi. Might not get too much through because he'll be counting blanks, but he could get the throw trigger off of Voodoo, which would really hurt Shang-Chi's chances.
Yeah, that is
If he
interesting.
doesn't get, if he, it's one of those situations where you almost don't want to count your blanks because you want the power to charge back in, But if he doesn't get power from like if he takes no damage and just a throw, that's going to be disastrous for Shang-Chi. Got
Yes.
Emma's activation here.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna put her probably try to avoid line of sight. Or let's see, interesting what he's looking to set up. But Emma, of course, has a range 4 attack, which means if she gets the range 4, she'd be able to hit Shang-Chi without his defensive tech. I guess actually he doesn't have it. He doesn't have any reactives while you play Emma, but he would still be able to count blanks. So looks like he's putting her in a spot to hit Shang-Chi outside of the blanks. And by doing that, you are basically, I mean, it looks like you're going to tie this secure. You're putting Schmid in a position to be able to get the VP lead. So, yeah, let's see what happens.
I don't think Schmid's too upset about that, because if Rhino comes up and stands on the other side of this bulldozer, he can go with Shang-Chi top of next round and potentially hit Emma right away. Because he could flying kick right into Rhino and place near Emma, and he'd gain the power even if he needed to charge, and then he could just start going physical into Emma, because I mean Okoye is on the other side of the world.
Yeah, that seems pretty strong. I think that what we might end up seeing, though, I'm concerned that the Rhino is going to take Shang-Chi's piece and and then rotate away. Um, I mean, both sides are basically can threaten that with Voodoo into Shang-Chi and Rhino into Shang-Chi on the other side. So it's basically like who can get the steal off quicker, and yeah, it's pretty interesting. Or who can like manage through this.
I did just realize that with the leadership, no matter what, Shang-Chi will be able to charge next round.
Yes,
Mark
yes,
Shang-Chi.
yes.
I was
Yeah.
I was misplaying that. It's been a while since I played into Hellfire.
Mark might have a little bit of a hard time generating power for robbery right away, though. I mean, yeah, he'll get the one from the leadership, but he's not super likely to get damage through on Shang-Chi. He's rolling, what, 5 into 4 with blanks and cover if he goes that route.
Yeah, so I think Mark's looking at all of his options here. He will have 3 power on Rhino, which will be enough to stampede, assuming he triggers the leadership after Rhino has positioned himself on a secure. So it looks like Schmid has opted to double walk with Ancient One and is sitting on the secure. It's going to it might force Mark to feel like he has to place both of his characters, the remaining, onto this secure, or else he's going to be down a VP. And he will actually like. Let's see here. Voodoo's gonna go to where Zima's gonna go where Voodoo is to break the parity. Is that what you guys are thinking?
I think so too. I think this Ancient One placement is. I guess he might have been able to go with Zima first, but then Mark could have stalled out the Rhino turn as well. This Ancient One placement is going to give Rhino an attack into Ancient One. But he might. Yeah, I think it looks like there's 3. She'll have cover.
If
I'm worried about placing off of Ancient One and being on the point though. But I guess it really doesn't matter.
Rhino's not going to be able to get on that point if he attacks Ancient One. That's a problem for the leadership.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see. I agree. It looks pretty scary. Ancient One rolls very well. Let's see if she gets a 3rd block. Looks like just 2, but Rhino rolls 4, so 2 damage going through currently.
2 rerolls. Oh, unfortunate. I shouldn't have enough power to bring him within 2. Those counting blanks would have came in handy.
Yeah. So now Looks like Mark's probably gonna just have to jam Rhino as close to the point as possible and see if he makes it. I doubt it. It seems unlikely. But this is enough power to throw terrain. So,
Yeah.
um,
That is a little unfortunate, being that Shang-Chi has 0 power for brace, but it doesn't look like he's
oh,
going for that.
he's on the point here. Looks like that looks like a.
Okay,
Is it a legal position?
good
Looks
placement.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good to me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not seeing any shadow on his base at all from the terrain or anything. All right. So he is
I
able
mean,
to
yeah.
squeeze it on there. Yeah. But I guess so. He chose to maintain the parity. And therefore, oh, if he does this, it opens up the terrain throw into Shang-Chi. But you might want to save the power on Rhino for the steal, right? Like now that you're about to have 5 power
I would
by
save
the
it for the
round
steal. Yeah.
2. So you might want to do the steal.
If you can get a steal on a fully healthy Rhino, I think that's good. If he gained his power through taking damage, then I would consider maybe saving it for when you flip. But I think if you can get it off of a fully healthy Rhino, you take the steal every time.
Yeah, this is so we're playing on riots here, so there's going to be lots of healing on both sides. The one thing that this does is now that Ancient One only has 4 health left, it does put Schmid in a spot where he can't. He might have to activate this side, the lower side here, Shang-Chi and Ancient One earlier, in order to keep them, in order to make sure he gets all 5 activations. When you have one less activation than your opponent, you really need to make sure you're getting as many activations as possible because you can simply be overrun by the amount of actions your opponent takes if you start
Looks like
losing them.
it looks like Schmidt might be going to tie the black cat point
I don't think he has
instead
the
of.
I don't think he has the movement. It's very tight. Uh, it's very tight on the. Maybe he does
Yeah, it
have
looks
it.
like he's there.
Ooh man,
I think he's
I
got
think
it.
you're out. I
It's
think he's
it's
out.
so close.
I've
Ooh,
done this
yeah, getting
before.
a
But
different angle. Yeah.
maybe the extra little the buff that Carl just put in, where the tools have the filled in, gets him there. Oh
Oh,
no, he's out.
it
He's
touched the
out.
tool a little bit there. It
Yeah, it
looked like.
did. It
Yeah.
nudged it, but that's because the tool was angled a little bit, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, Carl's
That was
tool buff
unfortunate.
in the system didn't pay off for Schmid there. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, you do. When you go for that, you need it to be like you need to be basically dead on, straight on type situation. In my experience, so
Yeah, I've only done it once. I stole a
yeah,
home
it's
hammer with Daredevil
there's
once,
very
and
little give on that one. Carl saying he nerfed the tool. All right, yeah, okay. All right. Anyway, yes, TG Lord agreeing with me that you need to. There is very little wiggle room there on that. All right. So, but he is setting up damage into Black Cat. Let's hope we're rooting for Mark to not miss his leadership if he wants to get use out of Emma being on the board here. All right. So.
I can't imagine he's gonna miss a leadership.
Yeah, that's true. No, I trust in Mark that he would not do that. Schmid is very good at.
Focus is over here,
Schmid is
ready to kick him off
incredibly
the
good
team.
at not. He's very good at not losing his leadership. He always considers it. So, and that's what that does make like. That's one of those things where, you if you start playing an affiliation early on and you miss your leadership spots, it can cause you to lose a game. So when you eventually when you tighten that up and get used to it and all that, it can win you can win more games than you originally were when you're playing the team. Practice makes perfect, and Schmid's really has a lot of practice in Convocation. So uh, I'm excited to see how he uses the bump going forward. He opted not to use it on the Ancient One attack, on the Ancient One damage. So let's see. We got 3-3 score. And Schmid has priority. What do we think we're going to see here?
I think an activation on either side of the board is valid. I mean, he's got some good moves over here into both Rhino and Emma. Like I mentioned with Shang-Chi, he could try to just be super aggressive and hit Emma, and in doing that, he would close the distance and make it so she can't quite as easily take advantage of his weakness at range. That would also give him an opportunity to heal up Ancient One a little bit on the console. But then again, like you mentioned earlier, Voodoo on the other side trying to just deal with his Shang-Chi ahead of time isn't a terrible idea. I think the odds are not great there for him to like guarantee anything getting done. So I'm a little more hesitant to do that. I'd like to see him go on the Ancient One side.
This could be my PTSD from going against a couple of my locals, Cabal Thanoses and Zemos, but I'm actually a little worried for Strange here. I think Zemo is within charge range of just going for him, and when Books isn't up, Strange can melt to Zemo. Granted, he is one power off right now of being able to charge Master Swordsman, but if Mark goes and activates the leadership, Zemo will have 4 power, and he'll be able to get 2 attacks with Master Swordsman, most likely into Doctor Strange, and we could see a Doctor Strange going down early.
I don't think it's possible for him to get 2 attacks into him, because
Oh, the bump will get him out.
the
Yeah,
bump
because if
will
he
get
has
him
to charge
behind.
after the over there, yeah.
Yeah, well, you just would. It would just mean you'd have to charge Spender and then use the medium tool to.
Well, I don't know. I think nobility's right here because if you bump on just the other side of the truck, I don't think the medium tool, maybe depending on where you place, will get you within 2 because you can't use it to
Yeah.
climb.
Yeah. All right. So what do we have here? We have Shang-Chi going into Zemo, maybe. Is what I think I might have seen. We have 2 defense dice, so it's Rhino. Someone 5 dice. It's Ancient One into Rhino is what it's got to be here. Looks like Mark blocks 2 Pierce. Schmid has a Pierce, so 1 damage after reduction. Pretty fine for Rhino here. It's like actually like
Oh yeah,
not ideal for Schmid on that
he's
attack.
gonna
He
he's
needs
gonna
to
be
push.
able to rob and throw the terrain now.
Yeah, and it's also like Hellfire is going to heal this anyway. Even 2 damage on Rhino is like totally fine because Hellfire heal plus riots
He's
is
ripping a
just
spender now.
okay. So this
Yeah,
is damage
we
on
could
a
see it.
stagger here.
Yeah, we
Or,
could see
or
a
yeah,
stagger. We probably will see a
we
stagger.
are gonna see it.
Well, we're definitely
Big
seeing
hit.
a stagger.
We
It
have
does
a
convert the
reroll from
reroll.
Zemo though. All right, so he takes only 3. Am I missing 3 damage? I think.
Yep.
Yes, after the reduction.
No, he didn't convert the reroll. He doesn't count crits for.
Oh, you're
Oh, that's
right.
right. It's the spender. That's right. That's correct.
That's right. Yeah. So, yeah, taking 4 more damage there, putting him on 2 health, and
To stagger. Okay, now we're definitely looking at saving the steal. I think
okay.
5 is a little bit too much to heal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's gonna definitely like hit the riot, hit the leadership. That's 2 health healed, and um.
Would like it more if he could make it to his home, but I think it's because he's staggered, he's not going to be able to make it to his home. With like
The
a
problem is that even
yeah.
if he like stampeded away from everything else, he still could be targeted by Schmid's Zemo and killed. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
good. The stagger really puts Rhino in a spot where he can't get away fully from the rest from a follow up attack.
Huge out of Ancient One. That was a big activation.
Ooh, he's gonna
Thinking about
aggressive
aggressive?
into a steal probably here, so he maybe could use. Okay, so one thing to note is that Shang-Chi cannot charge right now on Schmid's side, so you maybe want to consider throwing him into a spot where he doesn't take another piece of damage from like when you do the robbery play, or you maybe consider going all in onto onto Shang-Chi with the terrain throw, the robbery throw damage, and a 7 dice attack, but it seems pretty risky.
Shang also doesn't have the power to throw if Rhino were to attack him and not do any damage.
Right. That's so maybe if you did decide to go all in, maybe you start with the attack. Or but it's always like when you have a situation here where you have the power to throw a piece of terrain, it's usually good to start with that because then it
Mm-hmm.
leaves your opponent in this not a clear window to play Brace, or they don't know if Brace is the optimal play because they don't know what actions are going to follow from your. There's a lot of uncertainty left in the activation.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so that's why you'll see a lot of pretty good players do that more often than not, or like more often than players that are maybe newer to the game, where they
Yeah.
will
Or sometimes
do
you
all their
see,
attacks and then their superpowers. So
yeah,
here we go. We're seeing robbery being played, and it looks like Shang-Chi is being thrown into a place where he won't take any damage.
Makes sense. Don't
good,
turn on the
good
charge.
play by Mark. Yeah, good play by Mark.
Yeah, very reasonable. Seems very reasonable. Let's see if he gets hit by the scroll. He does. So that push is going to mean he's going to probably use his attack. Whoa, that's
I think
definitely going to.
yeah. They're walking it back a little bit.
I would imagine he's going to hit attack Ancient One, and I think Schmid was just too sloppy there. He could have probably got Rhino out of 3 of Ancient One, and now she's not, and now Rhino can attack her, and maybe find a place to stampede or something.
I
Or
don't.
what do you do? Stampede and just
I don't.
attack
I
her?
don't think he gets it. I don't think he gets out of 3 of Ancient One, even
Yeah,
with the full
I don't
distance.
Oh, you
think
don't think so?
either.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I agree that it
Alright.
was probably a little fast.
Yeah, it was definitely sloppy. Not what he wanted, but I think it's largely inconsequential.
He might be thinking about a strange attack. I mean, that can't be
Yeah,
what he's thinking, right?
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't do it. And he's stampeding in what I think is the wrong direction. I would like the attack into Ancient One. If doesn't matter if she pushes, well, she doesn't have the power to push you anyway. But you place within 1, almost back to where you were. Can heal off the riot. You still haven't used the leadership. That's another heal. And then you could stampede more towards the corner.
So you throw
Yeah, it
terrain
looks like
here and
that's what
then
he's
do a
doing.
5 dice attack into Ancient One, and then that way you can then stampede like way past Emma.
Yeah.
Like, see that I don't like how you're moving towards Zemo there. Like, I would rather you throw the terrain first, maybe and that you risk. Uh,
Well, I don't even know if you have to if you have to stampede like in towards that.
Man, I don't know. I liked the consideration of throwing the terrain into Ancient One.
I think the throw is what
First.
you should do because I don't know if where he places he's gonna get that stampede angle.
He
I
didn't get
think
the
he was pretty
damage.
wedged.
He didn't get the damage
He was pretty
anyway
wedged
on
in there.
5. On he did he do 7 dice? He did do 7 dice. 1, 2, 3. No, he did. No, my bad. He did 5 with a crit. Okay. So my idea wouldn't have paid off in hindsight anyway. He can either throw terrain or stampede. Looks like Schmid. Wait, oh, he did do damage.
Taking
What
a
am I
a
missing
tiny
here?
bump.
How did he do damage? Cuz he wasn't in 2. He did
He
2
wasn't in
damage.
2.
Yeah, okay. So he can now throw terrain and he can now throw terrain.
Sure.
He already stampeded to do the. No, what am I missing? I'm so brain farting here. Um,
He hasn't.
there we go.
stampeded.
There we go. He
Yeah,
got.
he's about to stampede, but it's a tight squeeze here to not hit the terrain and not hit Emma.
I think he's actually almost safer there than stampeding away.
I would have liked to have placed on the extremis and get the heal. Not
Yeah.
getting the heal on the extremis feels wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you heal off the extremis and you leadership, that's 2, and then if you don't immediately then deal with Rhino, everyone else gets to heal him too.
This is why I liked throwing the terrain and just throwing 5 dice in Ancient One, because then you had so much flexibility there. You had the ability to heal and get to that spot. But that was like I'm just better in the chat is saying that the that angle was very tight, and Mark he just like
This is
That's
going to be
actually
disastrous.
interesting. It's very interesting.
Looks like Shang-Chi has a window into Zemo here. I'm not sure if he can place on the other side though, so I still don't think he gets an attack in a Rhino.
He'll get the power for charge.
Yeah, I meant guaranteed. He still has to generate the power. Oh no, he guarantees the power. You're right.
Tyler, thanks for joining us in the chat. Tyler, Mark, and I were actually we're hanging out together at the GT that was in Ontario at the Torchlight store a couple weeks back. So, but it's cool to see you here, Tyler, especially since you and Mark have both earned the Crime Lord badge on Longshanks in the past. So, anyway.
Looks like Schmidt's thinking about going after Rhino with Zemo. He's got charge online. He could get 2 attacks into him. He'd have to play Baron if he wanted to turn on Master Swordsman right away. I don't know if he wants to do that.
This is
Rhino's
tricky.
Probably in sack range too, right?
Rhino, does he have sack? He has brace, right? He has no. Mark doesn't have sack.
Oh, I'm looking on the wrong side.
So basically, the situation here was that I think, I think Schmid needed it's tricky. Can Voodoo solo that top side? Daze Okoye and then take away and then take Shang-Chi's extract and survive and manage that side. He's gonna have to do a little bit of heavy lifting if Schmid wants to maintain pressure. So let's see what's happening now. Who's doing the attack?
This is Shang-Chi flying kicking into Zemo.
Oh, I didn't realize he had the range on that. Zemo had cover, but looks like that wasn't enough, taking 2 damage. Yep.
I think Schmid probably didn't want to do damage there.
Are we gonna see a retaliatory clapback or what, or not?
I doubt it. Why? He doesn't want to give him
think-
more power to heal Ancient One and charge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna heal, but he has enough for that anyway. He has 3 power.
No, he only has 2. He has
Oh,
enough
I'm
to
looking
charge.
I'm looking at the wrong Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, this is funny. Okay, yeah, you're a good call on that one. Okay, it does leave Shang-Chi in a spot to get attacked by both Emma and Zemo if Shang-Chi does daze Rhino here, but Rhino, it might even be it's a little risky too because Rhino has to take 4 damage off of 6 dice for him to go down because of his damage reduction. So dice would have to go a little bit more in Schmidt's favor here to make that happen.
It's asking for a lot. Yeah.
I think, what is Schmid doing? Schmid is trying to. I think what he's trying to do is see if he can charge into a flow like water to get back on the point, but I don't think it's possible. Maybe he can.
No, you should be able to
that's
charge
okay.
within 2 and walk back. Yeah.
Well,
Oh, it looks like they're gonna have to replace that. I think. Yeah.
Schmid, or
Poking
sorry,
him.
Nobility. Did you happen to see the picture of that bird that I posted in the Danger Room Discord?
I did.
What'd you think of that?
It's a pretty cool little guy.
Yeah, it's pretty. I like that picture. It's like one of my favorites, actually.
I'm a big animal guy, so pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did you not take that picture today? Was that not a new picture?
No, I took that picture today. I was actually shaking up my black spray paint to put some base coats on, and I was just like, it'd be pretty funny to take a nice picture of my bird. This looks like a pretty good background to use.
Right in front of all of your trophies and stuff. Yeah.
I thought it'd be a funny pick as I was getting ready to prime some models, and I just impulsively took the pic. Okay, so it looks like Shang-Chi went into Rhino. He didn't get the damage through, but what did he?
You got the stagger. 1,
And he
2,
gets
3.
2 through on Rhino, so Rhino lives through the attack on Shang-Chi, but is staggered.
This is
So
best case scenario.
Interestingly,
Flow like water and heal.
is it best case scenario because Rhino can aggressive now and get into range where Zemo and Emma can heal him on that point.
Ooh, I love that. I like good shout out there.
And that's exactly what he's measuring.
Yeah, Patrick in the chat mentioning mind transfer. It's been the hot card of the week, with two major mind transfer plays being completed recently. I don't know if it was. I don't think was it the same person doing both of them or
It was
okay.
Jamie.
Jamie just
Yeah.
absolutely
I still have to watch that game.
brain draining the enemy teams, and it's pretty cool to see.
It's been pretty neat. Yeah. It's always cool to see a card that people sleep on and then someone takes advantage of it in a big scenario.
Yeah, I think that's the hidden buff of losing all those really good generic cards.
Yeah,
Some of these cards that probably would have never seen play otherwise
yeah.
can really fight for a spot in the 10 at least, and then you could find those creative spots to bring them out. In the
Oh
5.
yeah, that's right. Johnny in the chat, he got hit by it, big time, as he was the first. He was the first victim, and then Dutch, one of my locals, was hit by the second mind transfer. It's like that new movie that came out on Netflix, right, where they all have to switch bodies. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was a pretty cool movie. Anyway, so
Were you paid to say that? Is that an ad?
no. There's actually no. It's actually it was a good movie that came out recently on Netflix with the concept where a bunch of people traded bodies as like a party thing.
Yeah, when it's done right, I actually think that some of those movies can be really great. It's fun to see like an actor's range of like acting as another character while they're stuck in the body or whatever.
That's right.
I think those are fun to watch.
Yeah, it's almost as if they're possessed. Speaking of possession, Schmid's voodoo is still sitting there ready to activate. Let's see if he looks like he's opting to go with Zemo maybe to try to take Rhino's extract.
Segues like that is why you're a professional.
No, it's Mark's activation, so I think he's
okay.
I think he's determining how important it is for him to activate on that side of the board to heal Rhino again.
Yep. One thing important to call out here that could it's a little bit of a gotcha that could happen is that if you attack Ancient One and it's the last activation, and you don't have any sort of after effect moves or advances or things like that, she could use her ability to yank you off the points before the attack continues, and you'll be stuck on an island off of the secure. So you have to be very careful about attacking Ancient One as with your last action, because while she's standing on a secure. So let's see if
Especially
Mark
fun on
gets trapped on
scoundrels, because then you get the cover.
that. That's cute, very cute. Okay, what are we seeing? Are we seeing a stagger going to Zemo?
Yep.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Zemo's taking the one.
Okay, we do have a bump available for Zemo now, so the question will be if he will use it. Oh, looks like he's going for the heal on Rhino with Black Cat.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think if you're Zemo, you just bump on the point for sure.
What, to get the heal and then the charge?
Yeah. Black Cat make it? I think she should be able to, right? I don't know exactly like how close to the bulldozer you have to be within one on that side. Oh, looks like you said you may better.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Zemo activate and just try to put down Rhino, regardless of whether he heals him another one here or not.
Yeah, I like Black Cat staying home. I think you're not too worried about Zemo. He's only got one action. I think you're right. I think he's gonna go for Rhino no matter what. And even if he wants to go into Black Cat, Master Swordsman, Black Cat doesn't care about.
Ooh, I don't like how he could have attacked Zemo, baby. Would you have attacked Zemo there if you didn't take that move action?
You could have.
I think you might as well.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, I don't think you're too worried about a counter strike when you're at full health and you could heal
That's very fair. Yeah, she
after.
hadn't healed. Yeah, good
So you
call.
probably
Good
do
call.
just attack him.
Yeah, getting that bleed. I mean, like you never know, right? Throwing the 4 dice with a wild pierce and a bleed,
Yeah,
like just it
getting a
just.
bleed on a stagger model is pretty big.
Yep.
Ooh, scalpeling on Strange. He just going for a kill on Zemo here?
Yeah, maybe he. I think he's realizing he hasn't put in enough work yet. I think he hasn't put enough work in to flip this game. And the top, like Mark's gonna win that top if nothing crazy happens because of Shang-Chi's
Only
auto push on his
one,
builder. So
and he got the pierce. I think he took him out.
There it is. 3 into 0 if he
I
doesn't
thought it was going
convert.
into Zemo
Oh, he
here.
converted. It is going to Zima, yes.
Oh,
I
I forgot Mark Zemo had already taken damage. Okay. All right. So that was the first attack.
it should be one more because of pierce, right?
It should be.
It doesn't have, yeah, there it is. Okay.
There it goes.
Yeah, if he didn't convert that, that would have been huge for Strange to be able to one tap him and then walk back to the home point.
Yeah. He's got a pierce here again, but
Zima's got a really nice block here, showing 2 so far.
Not enough
he
though.
kills him if he doesn't convert a reroll.
Yeah, I think you just hold this with Schmidt. You don't reroll.
Yeah, I agree.
Or force him to convert, and he does. Oof.
Oh
Oh
wow. That
no.
was a huge roll for Mark.
That's
Gosh,
sad.
jeez. Ah man.
I think
That's
that was
rough.
a risk you don't have to take this early.
I think I would just walk back with Strange after the first attack. I think.
I don't know, dude. Hellfire like it just auto heals all the time. But I guess when you have two models that are have taken a lot of damage, you can't heal fast enough, maybe. But um, Schmid needs to put pressure on the Hellfire team, or they're just gonna stay healthy the whole game, and then
I mean, yeah, he's already used the leadership this round, right? So Zemo's just healing. He has to choose between healing Zemo or Rhino off the extremis. Like I think that's okay. I think I would have just left him.
an important thing to note is that Emma does stop reactive abilities with her superpower shapeshifter type ability. It's called power inhibition, and but however, it doesn't stop leaderships and it doesn't stop innate abilities. And Schmid has the bump still, so Schmid will be able to still react to Emma's any sort of damage that Emma does through his leadership.
Yeah, but he just opened up. Oh, I don't know what he's doing here. If I was him, I would have healed. Yeah, healed Rhino like he did, and then just ripped a Master Swordsman into Strange, and then you can charge the next one after he bumps. But I guess he has enough to spender as well. Master Swordsman spender.
Yeah, seems pretty scary. Would you not want to go after the other characters? Like, oh, Strange is holding the extract, so it could be a huge.
Strange is
point
holding
for
the
him.
extract, and he's the leader. Like I think you get him when Books is down, while you can.
Yeah, that's why I don't super love that move with Strange. Like if it doesn't work out, you just you give him that opening. Like we talked earlier about how Strange wasn't going to be able to get double attacked really, and this opens it up and maybe gives him another extract.
Yeah,
this could be backbreaking.
One important thing when you're playing against Convocation is that a medium-based model such as Strange, if you are base to base with them, and they do a bump exactly away from your character, they will still be in range 2 by a millimeter, by a very small amount of distance. So if you want to get 2 attacks in at range 2 on a medium-based character that is in Convocation using the Circle's leadership, you get base to base with them if possible.
I don't know how I feel about this charge. I feel like you just Master Swordsman spender. No matter where he bumps, you can follow up with the medium move. Taking the charge is 2 power that you didn't need to spend. Because you had enough to Master Swordsman spender twice with Zemo.
The only other thought I'm thinking of is that you're gonna take the second move action to go onto the back secure.
Yeah, but if you double spendered, you probably could have got there anyway with the medium move after the second attack. Like you could have positioned yourself to still be within 3 of Strange, or 2 of Strange to get Master Swordsman. and within a medium move of the back point after he bumps here.
Yeah, I do think it seems weird. So let's see what he makes of it.
Yeah. Although I guess you do have to do your medium move before Strange bumps, but
He did pay for 4 for so he is gonna get the full reroll here. Strange has currently blocking 2, so
and Zemo roll, got it.
so he has 5 successes. You can't complain when you roll 5 dice and get 5 successes.
No, it works out anyway, right? But yeah, I would have liked to see him spender and then place on the other side of Strange base to base. That way he couldn't bump out, and then you could just spender again.
Yeah, that seems pretty.
Because now he's not going to get. I don't know. Are they within 2? I'm not sure if the terrain messed up.
I sincerely doubt it.
I know he's not with.
No.
There's no way he's within 2. It does not look
Yeah,
like.
I mean,
it.
he tried to go base to base, but it looks like it didn't work out too well because of the terrain.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So spender.
He's gonna have to spender, but he won't get Master Swordsman off of it. I guess he
Oh,
can try
he
to
rolled really
roll.
well though, and Strange block nothing. That's gonna be bad for Schmid unless he has to full reroll and block some of this.
I don't even think.
Yeah,
he's
he
gonna
gets
have to
it all.
block like. Yeah, he's gonna
No,
have to
it's
block it all.
not
Nope.
enough.
And that does just get him.
Wow, that's really crazy. So let's see. Big look at that. Just a slight little bit of variance there with Mark getting that re-roll into a block to live on 1, and it as a result, Mark rolls 9 successes on 11 dice. Of course, there's dice mods and all that, and it gives him a 1 VP swing because Schmid drops the extract, and it looks like Mark's aiming to pick it up. So, wow, game has lots of variance, and sometimes it's hard to see it coming.
Yeah. I guess the only saving grace here is Zemo wasn't able to get on the back point. I don't think Mark cares that much though. That's a big win for him.
I think Mark's pretty happy about this round.
And he doesn't move.
Oh my goodness, 4 extracts, and if Voodoo doesn't do anything crazy or pop off, Shang-Chi's gonna earn that secure, putting it's gonna be like a 6 to 1 discrepancy, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, Okoye could
notably,
even if Okoye could even rotate to the back secure, maybe.
Yeah, well, I think.
know.
Yeah, I wonder if he goes with Voodoo now to try and get power off of Okoye, since it's easier to farm power for the possession on Shang-Chi off of Okoye. Oh, we got a card being played here. Oh no, he was
Yes.
just flipping
Yeah.
robbery.
Oh, he's gonna try to move Zemo so that he can't even charge Rhino.
Yep. He wanted to do this earlier, but because Strange put a bunch of damage into him, it forced the Zemo activation early. But he was eyeing this up ahead an activation or a turn earlier because getting that Zemo reroll would have given him like a even more likely of a chance of getting the trigger. But of course, if you go for it here, you're leaving Emma off the point. So
Does this mean Schmidt passed? Is that what happened?
It does look like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's looking to go with Emma. If he is able to get Rhino down here, it might not be the end of the world. If he can end up picking up one on Voodoo and picking up one on Zemo and get parity with extracts back. But I think that's asking for a lot.
Looks like Emma's double moving.
Taking Zemo's old spot.
Yeah. That truck very awkward.
I hate it so much.
I mean, you have to deal with this type of thing in real life too, so.
Yeah, it's like I like it from the sense of it's challenging, but in TTS I hate it so much because it's so like you know that if it was in real life you could just place the model and balance it a lot easier.
Yeah, I can see that potentially. It is.
But it is an awkward piece of terrain.
The Schmid made that one map. It's like the all of the it's only shipping containers is the only piece of terrain, and it's like, although the design is like pretty can be punishing in some rotations. The it does make for a very clean. Are they on the terrain? Are they not? Type situation.
Yeah, it's got the classic block.
Okay. So now it's up to Schmid to go with somebody here. He's got a staggered Zemo.
Oh, okay. It looks like he's gonna. No, he doesn't have the power to charge Master Swordsman.
Just a move, spender. Do what the other Zemo did, right? Move, spender, hit the damage, and.
Well, he's staggered. He can't move and spend.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, good call.
He's contemplating Baron to charge Spender.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Good call out.
Yeah, see, that's what I was saying, Jeff, before you interrupted me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lucas. I'm so sorry. You know, I shouldn't doubt someone who has such a overflowing trophy case.
Good. Yeah. Don't do it again.
So sorry. On your stream as well. Oh man, I'm gonna get blacklisted.
It's all good. All right. Yeah,
Lucas
that's
the tyrant, they call him.
Yeah, that's what they call
Listen,
me. Yeah.
Jeff, there was a video posted on YouTube today that teaches you how to win MCP tournaments. You should watch it.
Yeah, you should watch it, Jeff. Yeah.
I was looking for a way to plug your video. And
Good.
I was trying to find a way to organically bring it up.
Good. No. You nailed it. But all right. Looks like we're getting a charge into Rhino here. Rhino's gotten a bunch of healing from Emma and from Zemo, and so now he has 3 health left instead of 1. Not
kill him.
tough.
Yeah.
That I am a Baron. Paying for the extra rerolls might have got him, but he's only taking 1 damage.
Yeah, I think after the heal, you have to burn the card here. I think that's.
And now you can force Rhino onto the secure.
Oh, I think there's a way for him. If that tread of the bulldozer ends up being in.
Oh, actually, now that I say that,
actually can do it.
Now that you say that, I remember the measuring, and you can't get range 1 on the extract without being on the bulldozer. And you know what? Now that I say that, it makes complete sense as to why Mark grabbed the top with Shang-Chi, because he didn't have a safe option on the bottom. So the opening play that Mark did was seemed like the most optimal of the 2 choices. So anyway,
took us a couple rounds, but we figured it out.
Yeah, there we go. The okay, so then looks like that's Zemo done. Looks like Mark, is he gonna rotate a character, or is he going to put it? You don't attack Voodoo, right? Like, because you don't want to give him the power to possess and double move.
I don't think you attack Voodoo at all.
You could the option, it could be to stun him though, or you could push him onto the other side of the building, so there's no line of sight. So he has to move. No, but you bump. If you damage him, he bombs.
Yeah, I don't think you can clear. A small push might clear him so that he can't bump back up. If you go max distance.
I think Mark was considering a rotation from Okoye. That's what he's doing, and it's Okoye which will not get there because it's too. It's too much climbing or whatnot.
Yeah, I think going with Shang-Chi is smart here. I don't think Schmid wants to daze Okoye after this to give up priority.
So he's charging, so...
I just realized you're saying Shang-Chi means that I'm remembering now that's the correct pronunciation. So
yes, Shang-Chi. Don't let Mike Whalen tell you otherwise.
What do we got here? Physical attack into Voodoo, blocking with 4. So we're seeing 2 damage through right now. What did he paid for the charge? Okay. How much power? Shang-Chi now has enough power to play Chi Mastery if he does another attack. But Schmid can bump here if he wants to before. Oh no, sorry. Shang-Chi can do his reactive 5-element fist here, and then decide, and then Schmid can bump. It looks like Mark has opted not to use 5-element fist, and therefore Schmid did the bump. All right.
Like he's hitting him with a flying kick. Trying to get lucky here. Good roll from Voodoo. Good roll from Shang.
Yes, but cover from Voodoo is going to prevent any damage from going through.
Yep. So that's not the worst for Schmid.
No,
No,
that's
he's got power. Oh, he's got one. He's got to make one more to possess and pick up.
yeah. So he is going to have to put an attack in somewhere. The one concern is that he might be in a spot where if he attacks Shang-Chi, he might not get the damage through and then get thrown away. So that could be a disaster. Maybe you attack Okoye instead, and then get the power from that attack, and then use that to possess Shang-Chi. It's a very weird situation here because the scroll will almost certainly also push Voodoo. So
And that's such a tightrope. Like if you're going into Okoye, you're hoping not to daze her. Because giving up Prio is real bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All of a sudden,
So-
Rhino's back at like 3 wounds the next time you get to interact with him.
So I guess Mark is debating on where to place, but doesn't he have to place within one if he flying kicks?
Yeah, I'm not understanding. There,
I think
there
he's
it goes.
he's just debating on where.
It's like a Marvel movie scene, right? They're both standing on the little.
Yeah, this is like from
This is pretty
from
epic stuff.
from his movie actually.
Yeah,
that scene on the side of the building.
Shang-Chi, Shang-Chi 2 coming out theaters near you here. He's gonna have to face against some wizards gone rogue.
This cast is just a series of ads, actually.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Fun fact: Brother Daniel is in the MCU.
Oh, is he? What now? Is that wasn't Voodoo in one of the Strange movies in like the first one?
So it wasn't Voodoo. It was Voodoo's brother Daniel, who was the original Sanctum Sanctorum in New York.
Okay.
And the bad guy ended up killing him, and then Strange took his place, and that is how.
Well,
that's
that
the
worked
connection.
out well.
Yeah, that's the connection.
Wow.
Schmid. He did 0 damage, but rolled a skull, so he got just enough to possess and take the scroll.
That's
Perfect.
right. And he rolled it into Okoye, and she rolled three dice, and yeah, it doesn't matter, no damage. So.
But he does get a power back because he rolled a skull on the scroll check.
Oh, that's hilarious. But not. I mean, I guess this is like all working out, right? Because now he can just take a move action and either like get away from Okoye or like, I mean, actually, you're probably just getting onto the point, right, and healing.
I think you just get on the point and heal.
Yeah, getting that skull on the scroll roll is pretty cute if you wanted to heal. It looks like Schmid is running away.
I think rotating back towards home is probably correct.
Yeah, I think that Okoye being able to rotate now, or do you just do you leave Okoye here and then it lets you send Shang out without sacrificing the VP? I think having Okoye sit on this flank secure is all game. It seems pretty good, especially if you're going to have a pretty significant VP lead.
Shang-Chi's already gone, so I would like to see a climb here with Okoye and get some attack into Voodoo, while he can't pay for recall.
Yeah, that's.
So she doesn't have to be right on the point this round. She just has to be somewhere near it to get back to it next round.
Yes, yeah,
because
right,
Shang-Chi already secures it for you.
Yeah, yeah,
So
and her taking a move
don't-
action
yeah.
when no one else is around is not anything bad
Exactly.
at all. Yeah,
But
good
it's
call.
still going to be well within 4 here. So
Yeah. And Schmid doesn't get no cover either. He's outside of range 1 of the piece.
yeah, that's a little bit of a misplay from Schmid. I would have tried to get within 1.
Let's see what we got here. Oh, whoa, dude! Oh my
Oh
god,
my
it's so bad. That's very bad. Wow. That's
yeah.
not what you want to see happen. So that was a massive
Cover of saved
variance
him
for
there, I think
Mark
it would've,
there.
right?
Cover
that
does
exactly
save
true?
him. Yeah, cover
Yeah.
would have saved him.
Oof.
Ooh.
And if Okoye took the full move, she might have been able to pick up as well.
Well, Brother
Good.
Daniel's back.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
Schmidt's
that's a
taking a
tough
beating here.
break from Schmid there. Yeah, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty sad, especially given that next round Shang-Chi still has key mastery to fairly reliably finish off Voodoo.
Okoye does it again.
Classic Okoye, the offensive powerhouse.
She used to have a reroll on attacks.
Mm-hmm.
And her
And
that gainer, that
gain
was a
power
gainer.
too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
I did not play in those times, thank God.
No, I got the tail end of that, I think, or whatever. All right.
I came into the game right after those 2021 updates.
Okay. Yeah, I think I joined the competitive scene basically right at the end of that. Okay. So,
Voodoo paying for books here. Looks like early books,
yes.
which I think is correct. I don't think you want to drop Strange's power down at all, even though he has the most. I don't think you want to drop it down.
Yes, Schmid does get to go here with priority. So we've got vulnerable. Rhino is pretty vulnerable, and so is Baron Zemo. Schmid's Zemo has 2 power, but he does have I am the Baron still, and it looks like it could be a very impactful activation for Schmid here with a double daze, first on Rhino, then on Zemo, is what seems like a pretty obvious line. Yeah.
That is what he needs. He could go for it with either Strange or Zemo, because Strange has more than enough power to scalpel himself around.
Yep.
I think you have to do this with Schmid. I'm just a little nervous for Voodoo.
Okay. Yeah, but like I'm not nervous for Voodoo right now. He gets 6 dice. He gets to convert all of these attacks that the top side are doing into Mystic, right? Does Okoye have an energy attack? Is that? Yeah, she has she's that 4 dice attack is energy, but it's only 4 dice. You can I don't know. You just have to trust that 2 4 dice attacks energy won't kill you, and then
Shang-Chi can flying kick, which will keep it at 5 energy
5
into
into
your 4 energy
4.
with key mastery.
Ooh.
I
That's interesting.
imagine he would charge and still just do the builder to key mastery into a guaranteed stagger, if nothing else.
It's key.
That
Okay,
makes
hold on.
Voodoo
It's key
pretty
mastery.
relevant.
All right. I'm so white.
to be fair, I also call it key mastery, but nobility is correct. So I'm trying to fix myself.
Well, that's good.
Call
It's
it
good
key
to know that.
mastery, Shang-Chi. I'm trying because it's hard when it's Shang-Chi and key mastery. It's like the same. Same
Well, it's
word
good.
there,
I'm
pronounced 2
glad
different
I'm
ways.
glad I know. I'm glad I know how to to change how I'm saying it. So thank you. All right. Looks like Zemo is being the one. He's got a big job ahead of him. He needs to get 3 damage through so that the damage reduction on Rhino doesn't matter and keep Rhino alive. Rhino blocks nothing, and Zemo gets it.
Did it?
Yeah.
Huzzah.
All right.
Rhino
Step
finally
1.
goes down.
Yeah. I think it's probably a turn too late.
Yeah, it looks like it, but
The game's not over. It was a
no.
bad
Oh, no.
round too.
No, for sure.
Schmid.
It's unfortunate that he wasn't able to get either Zemo or Rhino last round
Yes.
when he had the opportunity to get one or the other.
Schmid getting 2 dazes here does flip things over. We're getting a recal. Very interesting. I don't know if this is gonna work out. I mean, it could huge
Ooh.
upside. Oh,
Actually, that's huge.
oh
recall.
my gosh, that's a massive recal. It means that Zemo has to now pick a target. Wow. I feel like Mark got lucky on that recal, but I mean sometimes it works out, right?
He didn't have the skull in the original roll, right?
Yeah, he did. He did.
rolled all
He
three.
rolled two. No, he had a skull in the
He
original
only.
roll. He did.
Oh wow, he only rolled 2. Oh man, that
Yeah,
is
it was 2 against
that is
4, I
why we.
think.
Yeah, that is why we bring the card. I will say.
Actually, you know what? Like saying that out loud, 4 dice against 2, and Zemo needs 2 damage. It's
With
like
DR, I
with
think
DR,
we
maybe
probably.
it was the right call mathematically.
Yeah, it was a good recal.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the follow-up
I mean,
attack, and looks like Rhino is
well,
surviving. Oh, we had a Master Swordsman though with I Am a Baron
yeah.
combo.
And then the Zemo roll to convert it. Hopefully,
Not
he
gonna
needs
happen.
this.
It's not happening because he's sculling out, and is it? It's not
Oh,
happening, dude. Oh my
man.
gosh. We were just saying Rhino died, and he just took 2
Oh,
attacks. Oh, that's
that
really
is
bad. That's very bad.
That's backbreaking.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I guess
basically,
even if he converted the Zemo roll, it wouldn't have mattered. Then the DR kicks in.
oh my gosh, that's pretty bad. Rhino, TG Lord calling it right now. Rhino's gonna finish the game fully healthy. Well, he is bleeding, so I don't know if that. And he's
Bleeding
staggered.
staggered. Yeah.
I mean, like, you just let him stay there? Like, if another character has to put attacks into him, it's like that's still a win. Um, Z- Baron Zemo's off the point, so you don't attack him because you don't want the bump or anything to like get him closer to the points.
I think no matter what you do, whether you activate Rhino or not, you're gonna use the leadership here. So he's
Yep.
really on 5.
And this is why Okoye being on that point is or no, I say that, but it's like not a big deal. Because
No,
if
I
she
don't think
took a
she cares that
damage,
much.
oh, Schmid just
I think.
conceded.
Oh wow. Okay.
Ah, jeez. All right. Well, that's it. That's an early concession, I think, but I can understand the logic. Let's jump in there, chat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Extremely, it's like 60%, I think, but it needed to do it, and I
Hey
felt
guys.
Yes.
Um. All right. So, Schmid, you get the crisis draw. Squirrels, extremists. Mark, did you choose your extracts? Is that what we saw?
yeah.
What are your thoughts, Schmid? What were your thoughts going to 20 versus playing 17? Like, why'd you pick 20, and were you happy with the choices on both sides?
Um, I mean, you never really want extremists versus Hellfire, so it's probably the least one I wanted from his 3. I would have picked extracts myself because I don't want to play cubes. So, and I mean, we had 2 of the same of each, so not the not my favorite draw, not my least. I don't like playing 17 with this because I basically have to lose, like, I guess Ancient One becomes Magic and then like somebody becomes Wong potentially, or I do some weird strangeless thing that I didn't feel super comfortable with.
I like
Um,
the 20 call personally.
like 20 was fine. The teams were pretty much exactly what. I mean, the only thing I had a choice between was Team Zemo and Rhino, and the other one would be Magic, right? It'd be Rhino instead of Ancient One, and then Magic instead of Zemo. But I chose Zemo just because he hunts a little better on a big map. Ancient One's whatever. I mean, you never won extremists, but I've beat like Curtis Honest and stuff, so it's not impossible. But it is their best one, so it's just always tough.
Yes.
Obviously, you can see the healing and stuff, and while it matters, it wasn't like the healing wasn't the end all be all of the. I mean, yes, you can say the margins. Rhino got healed twice, and he lived on one, um, so it does always matter. But yeah, fine. I
Um.
mean, there's not a ton to say. Like,
Yeah, it was like unfortunate, but it wasn't backbreaking. I get what you're
oh, the
saying.
healing was fine. No.
Yeah.
I meant like the game itself. Like, okay, we tied round 1. Nothing crazy happens. We start round 2. I attack Rhino. I don't expect to kill him. I do damage. I think for me, like I needed last turn. I needed or not needed. What needed to happen at least to keep it going better was Strange need to kill Zemo when he went in.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Because then he loses activation. He doesn't kill Strange. I still keep Prio. Um, And if I kill him on the first attack, then I can do a 6 dice Mystic into Rhino and try to like maybe knock him down early or put more damage on him.
Yeah.
And then not getting that, obviously, I needed to start this turn killing Rhino and then charging into Zemo and killing both. And even then, it would have still been very hard because it's 8-4, it would have been, and then Voodoo dying to Okoye just made it even harder because then I'm down 1 point. I'm not holding it. I can't even like run him away like as the start of my turn or something. So yeah, I mean, Mark played it well. Obviously, I mean, Hellfire does its thing and steals and walks around and heals itself. So, I mean, if it's Hellfire, it won't survive forever, I guess.
I did have one question for you, Schmid. I don't think it was a big decision, but it was something that I called out
Mm-hmm.
early that I wanted to pick your brain on, just because I'm not sure the correct answer. But when you picked up the scroll with Shang-Chi in the beginning, I would have expected to pick up with Ancient One instead. That way Shang-Chi could have power for a charge, guaranteed, top of round 2. What are your thoughts on that? Why
Yeah,
Shang-Chi? Just because he's a little bit tankier?
yeah.
But I figured since they were both
It was
covered by a
really,
bulldozer.
I was like, maybe he's tankier, and then I'm not rolling 2 dice to move. And if he doesn't move on that side, then at least I can tie it if he puts Rhino and Zemo like he did. So that was like I debated. She was originally going to go to get it, but I didn't want to move is the big thing because I wanted to tie the point. And I mean, it didn't. I mean, he just robs them anyway, right? So it doesn't matter who really holds it. But yeah, that was a good call out. I thought about it too, and that's probably the toughest part about this team. Where if I could, I think as good as Zemo is, especially if you can hunt like Emma or something, I do think it's probably better to go my own Rhino and Magic because he's much better at like if he gets hit, he runs around, you counter steal, he can still slide and attack Emma like he can still get around the map and with healing. So I would personally probably that's the one thing I would change. I would have just taken my own Rhino to get some of the terrain out of the way as well, like
Mm-hmm.
so he can't throw it. But I mean it wasn't like a back breaking. I mean it's basically a 2-turn game, right? So there's only so much you can like and I yeah.
Tying the point is a good shout out. I hadn't considered that. I was too busy thinking that okay, well, she can't get pushed forward, so you're not worried about that. But getting pushed backward could be
Yeah, I just didn't want to get
just as bad.
off the
Yeah.
point. Is really.
All right. Well, Mark, you got the win. You're in the semifinals. What were your thoughts on the early game and like the squads that each player brought?
So early game, I was thinking I want his secures, and if we drew scoundrels or infinity formula, I was just gonna take some crazy aggro stuff. I was gonna do like an Ebony Maw, um, Shang-Chi, human weapon. I was gonna bring just a bunch of crazy unconventional stuff that's good, probably into convo, but just make a scrap out of it because I know Schmid likes to create chaos. I want to up the chaos, but when this crisis was drawn, I mean, how can you not just take the same scenario bullshit? It's pretty much mandatory. So that made the decision easy for me. I brought all the usual pieces. I like that he said 20. This team is super strong. When I'm placing down, the usually the Okoye telegraphs where the Emma's going, but I've learned that Emma's not doing a lot, and for other Hellfire players out there, it's often unwise to attack her because you're not attacking extract holders, etc., etc. So I felt like she was just a solid piece to put on either of the flanks, and then start to rotate her around as needed. So yeah, 20 is a good number for me. But the most important thing to highlight is in any tournament run, whenever you're doing anything, we all know that luck is involved. And I mean, we had exhibit A was Shang-Chi not getting some nice spikes round 2 into Rhino and not dazing him. Like that can very well happen. And I think that he underperformed on damage a little bit on that one. Exhibit B, Zemo into Strange. Exhibit C, Zemo into Rhino. That last activation there, it's like Koye, Exhibit D. These are the things that come together. Just pure luck.
But see, I don't agree with that too much, Priok. I mean, this is like I understand why you're saying it, but like, sure, like the Okoye thing was definitely the roughest one. Like, but even the strange one is like maybe 60% to kill him, so it's not crazy. And then you killing me back is actually pretty fucking good. It's just that those margins are very like getting it or not is a big deal because in the end it's either Zemo dead, right, with my having my scroll or you took my scroll, so that's a 2-point swing. So you just take that into account. It's like okay, it's 7-5 if everything goes the same way, and then then I get priority with Zemo standing there. Maybe I can kill him. Like that was my plan potentially, or if I could get Rhino down. So I don't think. I mean, the Koya one was probably the biggest one that you're like, oh shit, doing 4-on-4 is pretty rough. I only had 2 dice. Rhino is tanky. He can heal. He has DR1. It's there's nothing that was really outside of like crazy. It was just very impactful because the margins are very thin with like losing priority or losing activations or losing the scrolls and stuff like that. So that's how I feel about it. Where I don't walk away and be like, oh, I got unlucky. I was like, oh, there's some unfortunate. Like if I would have gone this way, it would have helped me more so, or maybe an activation order. Um, maybe I should have when I did 2 damage to Zemo, just attack him again, right? And just say, all right, maybe try to stagger him or try to kill him. And he's 3 versus 3. I don't know. There's decisions like that definitely could have made. I almost thought of just attacking Zemo with Ancient One because I have a bunch of dice and maybe I can just burn him instantly, right? Like that was a thought I had where I'm like, why don't I just try to kill him and see if it works out? But he did not.
Yeah, I'm not going to resoundingly disagree, but to your point on the margins, Schmid, you went 0 for 5. Like,
Oh,
0
sure.
for
There's a
5
lot of little
on
things
these
that
little
could have
things.
went my
Like, that
way.
was
Well,
not
that's why the
bad.
game ended now, even though
Yeah.
maybe there was outs, but it was very, very, very unlikely. Versus like going to turn 4, maybe it was closer, right? It's kind of like that. It's not like anything was so. I was going to win in 3 turns because of one of these rolls went my way. It was just going to be closer and more of a. We would have had to go longer. So now there's 2 Hellfire and a Thanos Wakanda because of the forfeit.
Looking forward to the future, Mark. Congrats, by the way.
Yeah,
Is
congrats.
Appreciate it.
Is there one you're looking for without giving away any secrets or anything? But is there a matchup you're looking for out there that's in the that's
No,
top right now?
no. Schmidt and I were talking about it before the game. The necessity of just, uh, not playing it cool, but come into these games chilled out. Don't overthink it. Don't stress it out. Like, not uh, making any disclaimers here, but just like this is how chill I've become about the TTS League. Like I looked at Schmidt's list a couple days ago, and I quite honestly didn't look at it again because don't like not overthinking it, coming in chill, and then playing the game. Like be fluid, see what's coming, assess. These are all things you need to do. It keeps the brain free of stress and not having that weighing on you is critical. It's other top players I've talked to. It was the same for them when they just kind of chill out, let go. That's when the results kind of start rolling in. And so keeping that same mentality into the semis, not going to overthink it, not going to look too much, going to let the matchup and the pairing come and play the game.
Help playing Hellfire over your shitty Crims, right?
You know what? It was Crims for so long, and that
Crimson was
was
terrible Hellfire, so like, why not play
yeah,
the good stuff? Curtis can definitely
exactly.
help me. He convinced you.
Exactly.
Just play the good.
And I played Defenders. I have more reps of Defenders than I do Hellfire, and Defenders and Crims, and not so much Crims, but Defenders is MCP on hard mode, man. Like grinding out those games really taught me a lot.
Billy, listen to this. Don't. No way.
Respect to Jeremy, respect to Jeremy and Eric for
Hard
crushing it
mode?
because
I thought
I
you were
don't
going to
know.
tell me Defenders was easy. You think Defenders is hard?
Oh man, it's hard, man. It is hard.
Nobody
You're
has
just
said one word this whole interview. Say
yeah,
something.
I
you're on a
like that
tightrope.
Mark guy.
No, as a defenders player myself, I also like this Mark guy. He's making some good points.
Love it.
Very, very difficult faction to play.
I don't. Okay, you can say that it's not easy to play, but I thought the hard was indicating that it was like low tier type stuff.
No,
Oh,
like
you're
they're
just saying it's
decent.
hard to
They're
play the
decent tier.
Hellfire. Yeah, I can see that.
You're walking a tightrope with defenders, and I lost so many games on those margins, and it's like I just had to put them down because I can't be chill with that faction. That faction is high every game, every activation is so intense that Hellfire is just, it's not plug and play, but it's play and chill.
The amount of games that just hang on the back of a Daredevil spender, always the best.
I mean, just talking about it has made me more stressed than any moment in this game.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for letting us stream the game, and congrats on making it this far. Schmid, you've done really well in a lot of recent TTS leagues, so I'm looking forward to seeing you play in hopefully next season's Top Cut and crush the competition. And Mark, congrats, and you're on to the semis. So I'm looking forward to watching that game, another high-level game to be streamed hopefully next week. So thank you guys, and have a great night.
Thanks.
Thank you, gents. Take care. Thank you, Schmidt. Take care, Paul.
All right. All right, and thank you, of course, to my co-hosts Jeff Toast and Nobility. That was a lot of fun. Two of my favorite co-commentators to have. They know their stuff on the game, and I love having them on. So we have a game on Friday that I'm streaming at around 8 p.m. Eastern time. Between Titan and Ryan Janway, and that I think that would conclude the top. That does conclude the top 8 after that game. So, what does that mean? That means there's only 4 games left this season to determine a winner, and yeah, that's pretty sweet. I will see you guys in the next one.